Hello and welcome back to the Making the Radio Cut blog. I'm Michelle, and for the next 2 weeks, we're kind of in best of mode again. This interview was actually recorded for another project I was working on, but I thought it was incredibly interesting and relevant. So I present to you part one of our interview with Matt Haze. He was a former on-air personality at WKDD in Akron, Canton, who actually ended up leaving radio to pursue real estate and now makes a living helping real estate agents grow their brand through podcasting. So Matt, before all your new ventures, you were a radio personality. So can you give me an assessment of what you think radio's current crisis is?
I don't look at it really as a crisis. I still do dab here and there in doing phone bits and some other stuff. So I still have so many friends around the country in it, and I'm a radio geek too, so I try to keep my voice on the air and all. I think now more than ever is an opportunity where I think radio has to really think about what we're doing content-wise. I know there's a lot of people that feel it's a crisis. I think differently. I think this is an opportunity now for many people to be able to come up with more creative ways to get content to people, utilizing so many different forms. And radio is never going to go away. We just have to think differently about what we do with our content, how we put it out there. And when it comes to the job aspect, I think people really need to rethink about job-wise what they're doing. It's not the old way of, you just get an air shift and you come in, you do your air shift, and then you go home. It's a night and day difference. If people that are willing to adapt, I think will be able to really survive. For example, with me, I mainly do new real estate media now. I do a bunch of different radio programs that are heard around the country for real estate agents that I host. That's kind of my way and my outlet to be able to do that. If people can come up with unique and creative ways to offer their services as radio personalities, I think that they really have a success and a future in the way the media is going.
And I don't really want to come off as a Facebook stalker, but this summer you had something that was kind of almost the equivalent of a viral video. You wrote this note on Facebook called, "Are you a radio DJ or a content creator?" Can you explain the difference between those two?
Yeah, I think we're so used to, and for those of us who are radio geeks, we're brought up in wanting to be just a radio DJ. Like I said, you show up, you go on the air, you talk and spin records, and then you go to the appearance where everyone loves you, you drink for free, you sign autographs, and you give away free T-shirts, and you go home. That's kind of the way we're so taught and kind of this dream. But really what we've been doing is creating content for all these years. And now what you really need to focus on is your content and how you distribute it, because radio is never going to go away. It's just a medium. It's just a way that we distribute content. All we do is create unique custom content for people, except now instead of just doing it on the radio, we have to use so many different forms. We have to use new media. We have to use social media. And in an industry where we're so ego-driven, where it's all about us, it isn't so much anymore. It really is about the content we're putting out there. But the nice thing is that we so want to create this content to give to people. Well, now we should be happy that there's even more opportunities to be able to do it, to be able to create some really unique, different services or products or whatever it is that we love to do, whether it's comedy, whether it's music, whether it's entertainment, whether it's gossip. But now we have so many other outlets and distributions to be able to give what we've been giving people for so many years. It's just that it's expanding on different levels.
And you use the terms new media and social media. Can you explain the difference between those two?
Yeah, there really is a difference between the two. I think people get them confused all the time. When you think of social media, you think of Facebook, you think of Twitter, you think of Flickr, you think of MySpace. Those are really networks. They're really ways for people to connect on levels they never could before. And it's very social. I mean, hence Facebook and MySpace and Twitter is all about connecting with people and talking. New media is videos, podcasts, blogging, pretty much online media. Anything that's not radio and television but done online is considered new media, which quite honestly, if you think about it, new media is nothing more than what we've been doing in the past. What's a podcast? It's a radio show, except it's not sent over a transmitter on FM and AM. It's just distributed via iTunes, heard online, and listened on podcasts. Same with online videos. It's nothing more than TV shows and videos you may watch on television or on DVD or some other way that we used to do it, except now it's online. But there's such a stigma, I think, especially for those of us who are born and raised in this old media world, that because it's distributed in a different way, it's bad, when it's really not. It's the same content that we've been doing for years and years and years. It's just that we're getting it to people in a different way and in the way they want to, which I think actually also helps when it comes to creating content. It really forces us to be better because they're going to come to us for it, and we have to make sure it's the best.
So in your opinion, what makes this new and social media so appealing to today's generation?
because they're able to get what they want right now. It's this me, and I want it now mentality. The reason why radio, television, and newspapers are having such a rough time right now, they've been the only source for information. It was a potpourri. Look at the Sunday newspaper. It's a potpourri of information: news, sports, entertainment, movies, travel, food. Well, and people would buy that on Sundays and be able to take what they want out of it. How many times when we were growing up, one of our parents would grab the paper and everyone would grab their own section? Well, it's not that way anymore. They can get their food information 24/7, 365 on TV with the Food Network. They can watch videos and get podcasts and read blogs and all of that online now whenever they want. That's what they want. They want to get their content, and now there's so much of it out there that they can really be engulfed in what they want. It really is about niche. It's not about, creating a big potpourri of just general information. People can get what they want now and be able to pick through all the junk that's out there and be able to get the best quality content out there for whatever it is they love to talk or read or watch or listen about.
So do you think there are any ways that radio can incorporate their new media and social media competition into future success for the industry?
I don't really look at it from a radio standpoint as incorporations. I think of it from personalities. I think so many of our friends that have been laid off recently, I've talked to them and I've said, this is the time for you to shine. I think it's fantastic for people that are put in that situation. I hate to see them lose their job. I don't mean that. I mean that now's the time that they can be able to do their own thing. I have a couple of friends of mine that were night personalities that lost their jobs with the Clear Channel cuts earlier this year. They now have the opportunity to really grow their brand in their local area wherever they want as the entertainment expert. They can use blogs, they can use podcasts, they can use videos and be able to do that. And a few of them have embraced it and are really starting to be able to take their name and their brand they built on the radio station they used to work at and be kind of that entertainment expert in that community, in that town. I think, we're, like I said before, we're so egotistical driven, and there's no lie to that. I think now we're really able to be a personality more than we ever were before, because radio is trying to figure out what they're doing. We as personalities can be able to be ourselves, be personalities, be content creators, and create the content we feel that comes naturally to us, and we can then distribute it to the people, our fans out there, and give them what they want whenever they want it. I think for personalities, now is a fantastic time to be able to embrace things and to be able to grow their brand personally.